It's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Tick the notification bell so you know when I go live and when I post videos. Let's get into it. Oh, BC Spank Dog at Instagram and Robert Lopez at Facebook. You know, I was reading about the Russian-Ukraine war. So I was reading that many of Putin's political opponents have been imprisoned, exiled, or died under suspicious circumstances, including Alexei Navalny, who was poisoned and later imprisoned. Then in the invasion of Ukraine, Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, causing mass destruction, civilian deaths, and global crisis. They say he censors the media in Russia. Media has been systematically shut down, with journalists arrested or even unalive for criticizing the government. You know, I'm gonna just leave it at that so you understand if you didn't already know that already. So, but we're gonna get into the whole video. A MAGA veteran doesn't understand how, even though he voted for Trump, you know, the policies, the freezing of the government funding, it affected him, I believe. And if not, it was something else Trump did. I'll let Makla tell you.
All right, check out this post from a Trump supporter who's trying to reach Elon Musk on Twitter. And they basically say, hey, Elon, it was all fun and games when you were hurting other families and hurting other federal employees, but it's not as much fun when you're hurting my family. They said, quote, I love what Doge is doing. Can I ask one favor? The veteran hospital cuts, I'm hearing some are short-staffed as it was, and they got the emails asking people to resign. Nurses are being on that list, and it is said they are short-staffed as it is. Pennsylvania facility is the one I'm directly hearing this from. I'm MAGA 100%, but just want ease of mind. My father, who is a veteran, will still be taken care of without long waits due to understaffed nurses. Again, I love what all is being done. Just worry on this matter. These are voters. My stepfather's a big Trumper too. Please, can someone check in or let us know this isn't the case? And listen.
You believe this? It's like he thinks that because he wrote on Twitter that he needs help and he voted for him. You know how many people are in the same situation as that guy? What do you think? They could all take to Twitter and ask for a personal favor, and Elon Musk or Donald Trump are gonna, you know, do the favor for you?
It's never funny when hospitals are understaffed, but I just think that Trump supporters need to stop doing this thing where they don't care until it affects them personally. I can't tell you how many conservatives I grew up with that were always pro-life.
Why you didn't care before it affected you?
They were always saying, I'm pro-life, I never think abortion should be allowed. And then when we get into college, they have a little bit of a scare of their own. They all of a sudden flip and they're like, you know, I am pro-choice now. For as long.
Yeah, it's called being wishy-washy, flip-flopping, you know, and age matters though, but it doesn't excuse that the fact that it's wrong. Wrong is wrong.
As long as I can remember, Republicans have been apathetic when it comes to health care. But then when one of their family members is affected, they realize the necessity of healthcare and how much the American system absolutely sucks.
Come on, man. When you get older, imagine if you can't work and the money's not coming in like it used to, and all of a sudden a major illness comes on. You know, it should be where healthcare is free to a certain degree. We spend the most money on healthcare, yet we're ranked 47th or something like that. I remember that because of the Luigi Mangione incident. Well, that's if he is guilty. I remember that we were very low ranked in healthcare. We're the #1 amount of money spent on healthcare.
Story right here comes off the back of an article from the Military Times that explains how the Veterans Affairs leaders dismissed more than 1,000 employees last Thursday, so a few days back, as a part of a White House purge of government workers still in their probationary periods, an effort designed to, quote, dramatically reduce the size of the federal workforce. But you can do that without targeting healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare, without targeting the veteran affairs. It makes zero sense.
Yeah, like how do you do that? These are people that they are such good people. Their job titles are literally jobs that do positive for the city, the state, the nation.
For Elon Musk to target U.S. aid, which makes up 0.04% of our budget, and we get a massive return on that in the form of disease prevention. It makes no sense for Elon to target U.S. aid before targeting our massively bloated military. There are ways that you can cut contracts there, but that would be a conflict of interest for Elon Musk and his SpaceX contracts. But just read this right here. In a statement, Veteran Affairs Secretary Doug Collins said the elimination of these jobs, of these posts, will save roughly $98 million annually. I know that's a lot of money on like a personal level. Of course, $98 million is a lot to you and I. But when it comes to the government's budget, that is a drop in the bucket. That is a grain of sand on a beach.
They're penny pinching, but they're only penny pinching on stuff that go to middle class or lower or even upper middle class. That's the crazy thing, that you guys are so uptight because you make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 a year. I don't believe that the tax cuts are for you guys. So you guys are all thinking that you're part of the rich, and you're not. You are part of the class that they are going to violate.
Absolutely nothing. And Elon Musk is wasting weeks and weeks and weeks targeting absolutely nothing and making a big show out of it. Like, why is this dude targeting the Veterans Crisis Line? We have multiple independent reports that at least
they're going to call on them. Donald Trump would call on the military if he had to back up one of his threats. And then the people that already fought for this country, you're cutting their funds.
1 to 2 people were let go from the Veterans Crisis Line. And it's like, congrats, Elon. You're the richest man in the world, but you saved American taxpayers $40,000 a year. And in turn,
if I was Elon, I'd be worried about helping people and giving away money, not penny pinching for the government and making people that are messed up even more messed up. It would be the opposite. Like, that's crazy. How could you have all that money in you and not have some sort of generosity in you? He seems like there's not a generous bone in his body.
Worsened the mental health crises of multiple veterans who now may end up homeless or on the streets. You really put America first there, Elon. The richest person in the world, slashing the ability for veterans to get mental health care. This says, I am absolutely devastated. Last night, myself and
some of them only need health care because they developed PTSD while they were fighting for our country. You're going to take that from them?
Many others at the Veterans Crisis Line were terminated without warning via an email sent after hours due to actions by the Trump administration. Nobody, including leadership, had any idea this was coming. This decision not only deeply affects me and my family, but will also negatively impact veterans who rely on this service. Again, this comes off the back of them saying, hey, we saved $98 million. We thank these employees for their service to the VA, but this was a tough decision, the head of the VA.
Did they cut the spending on weapons? I bet they didn't. Did they cut the funding on NASA? I bet they didn't.
It says, but let's continue reading this post from someone who got let go. I am a veteran and current military member. I was hired as a military spouse. I have outstanding performance appraisals. I have been a federal employee for almost 9 years. I was just 12 days away from completing my probationary period. In parentheses, I recently switched agencies from the Department of Defense to Veterans Affairs, which resets your first year as probationary. And then I'm supposed to start my paid maternity leave in less than 10 weeks. I am crushed by what is happening under this administration. I'm begging you all to open your eyes of what's really happening in this country and stop being blinded by ignorance. This is wrong on so many levels. And Fred Wellman said, yes, they fired people working on the Veterans Crisis Hotline. Stop believing they aren't coming for everyone and have any idea what the F they are doing. They are coming for veterans just like everyone else. And then Fred...
Let me make sure to give Makler his props. Thumbs up right there. If you ain't subscribed, you already know.
Wellman was in the trenches arguing with MAGA. Someone named Leanne, a MAGA supporter, said, because they are actually putting people in positions to then help the vets. Fred Wellman said, are you fucking kidding me? The Veterans Crisis Line has saved thousands of lives. You need to step the fuck back. This dude is not playing around. But just to zoom out, just to be serious for a second. Before I read this next person's post, I just want to keep repeating myself over and over. Elon Musk is not actually trying to make the government more efficient in a long-term way. There are steady-handed ways to spur on long-term change by reporting fraud, abuse, and waste to the proper channels.
How could you do that to so many people? How could you cut that many jobs? People went homeless over what happened.
In the proper way, what Elon Musk is doing is slashing and burning our agencies at breakneck speeds and just causing problems for veterans, for homeless people, for people who want to enter the Medicaid portal. I mean, this story perfectly encapsulates what we've been saying since day one. Just this headline right here. The Trump administration wants to unfire nuclear safety workers, but can't figure out how to reach them. The workers.
Look at that face. I really, truly, it's my right to have an opinion. And in my opinion, he does not care about too many people.
Whose agency oversees the nation's nuclear stockpile, had been fired on Thursday and lost access to their federal government email accounts, which is just absolutely terrifying. So this is what happened. They went through and they rapidly fired this entire crew without understanding what the crew did, without understanding their utility. They thought they were just waste. And then they realized, oh shit, these are highly specialized workers who have a unique ability and know how.
Now they need them again
to oversee our nation's nukes. And then the next day, they wanted them back, but they couldn't even find their info to contact them because I guess they fired them so quickly, so rapidly, they didn't even get their parting information because they thought that would add an extra layer of bureaucracy. That we can just do it with a simple email. One email will do it. Well, then their email account gets terminated after they're fired. And listen to this. National Nuclear Security Administration officials on Friday attempted to notify some employees who had been let go the day before, to say they are now reinstated, but they struggled to find them because they didn't have their new contact information.
Imagine if this was you. Some people are so lucky that they didn't get hit. So many people who voted for Trump went through a whole bunch of stuff and they were like, I can't believe this.
Think about how much of a screw up that is. It took 24 hours for them to realize, oh shit, these are actually highly specialized people. We have this story. So Blank and I were at an antique show today. We were talking with a dealer who told us she needs a good show because her job with the federal government was just eliminated and benefits for her nonverbal, autistic 20-year-old were just cut. I said, quote, well, I hope you didn't vote for.
Some of you people don't know, so I'm going to say it. I have a nonverbal, severely autistic 15-year-old.
For this. But the look on her face and the silence confirmed that she did. And I think that is incredibly, incredibly sad. I would never want this to happen to somebody. And the onus is on us to continue pointing out that Elon Musk is not putting America first. Elon Musk is not trying to make the government more efficient. He is making people's lives harder, and that will continue to manifest. I mean, there are delayed results with a lot of this stuff. When Elon Musk makes these massive cuts with US aid or the Department of Education, it's not like kids are going to go into school the next day and everything's going to be on fire. It's going to be a slow burn. After a few months, the lack of staff will begin to manifest. And that's when we can really pounce and say, hey, maybe Democrats were right that you can't just slash and burn the federal government over the course of 2 weeks with a team of 6 teenagers, right?
Trump is just doing a horrible job. That's me speaking politically correct. And Elon Musk, I don't even know what he's doing around. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not a politician, he shouldn't be there, period. That's like the guy who hangs out in the barbershop, but he don't cut hair and he's not there for a haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're rich, that doesn't mean you belong in government, the White House and the Capitol or whatever, the Pentagon or, listen, man. It's your boy Spank Dog. God bless you people. Have a good night. If you definitely know, let this be a lesson to you. Like I said, 3 years and 11 months, 3 years, 10 months left. For the sake of the U.S. people, I pray he does good, but not for him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm rooting for our president because it affects us. Good night, everybody. Much love.